buy new walking shoes until these run out. On a financial hold for the past more than a year. On this path lately, I've smelled someone wearing Mont Blanc. What's that one? That smells like, it smells bad. What's that one? Legend. I smelled Legend. I smelled Sauvage, which is much better on this once. And I even smelled someone wearing, I think it was a dupe of Costume National Homme, a girl, and that one smelled good. The point of this presentation is to continually love your collection, no matter what it is. Unless it's overly huge and big, you guys are screwed. You guys are like over the edge. But if it's kind of manageable, like 200 and under, don't give up on it. I had a tiny breakthrough today with my scent of the day right now. I'll stop talking if people come near me. Wearing Timbuktu. From La Artisan. So yeah, I know what you're saying. Bobby, you douchebag, you're wearing Timbuktu in the middle of summer in Hawaii. Hold your horses. It called out to me today for the first time ever, I think. I've had it for, I don't know, 3 years or so or more. And I liked it. And it's good to have it, right? Because you know it is good. Because the hype and the never-ending love that it gets. But last year I was thinking about putting on the chopping block, and I'm glad I didn't. And it was earlier, it was cooler and cloudier. So I think I said for the first time, I want to do Timbuktu, and I hit it right on the head. Get back to it. What else have I smelled on this path? Not on this path, but on my way home, I smelled, recently I smelled BR 540 again on this Asian gal that was going up the stairs to the Chinese restaurant. And yeah, so last week I smelled Mont Blanc Legend on somebody. But Timbuktu, all right. I looked up the temperature and weather in Timbuktu today, in Africa. And to tell you the truth, I've forgotten where it is in Africa. But it was freaking 105 degrees there. All right, 105 degrees, Timbuktu. I can wear it here when it's 80, 83. And breezy. Timbuktu is towards the western horn of Africa, in the equator zone, I believe just north of the equator, correct me if I'm wrong. Burkina Faso, I believe, is underneath Mali. Timbuktu is in Mali. And it's not on the coast, it's landlocked. I believe it's an ancient civilization, probably one of those megalithic civilizations that we have no explanation for, okay? All right, no, it's not the Romans. They always say it's the Romans. There's stuff that predates the Romans by 10,000. Don't believe, there might be an anthropologist out there, an Egyptologist. Those guys at Harvard and Yale teaching this crap, I have no idea. they know nothing. Their lives are based on a lie. Look up megaliths or megalith stones. Yeah, so you know where Gibraltar is, right? Here's the end of the canal. Just by eyeing it, it looks like it's about 1,800 miles south, straight south of Gibraltar. There's Diamond Head behind these trees. And in 100 yards or so, I'm going to turn around and go back the same way I came for a mile. So yeah, Mali, Timbuktu, somewhere over 1,500 miles south of Gibraltar, the Straits of Gibraltar. So that gives you an idea where in Africa it is. And this is nice. I get a dank wood. This is very woody, but no sandalwood in here, huh? Okay, I get that. But there's some kind of red type wood, and it's dank and earthy, right? That's from the patchouli and vetiver. And then we got the incense, the myrrh and the frankincense, which keeps it, that smoke, that light smoke, keeps it dry and wearable. Okay, in 105 degree Africa, and here in the islands. Well, and you say, Bob, it's just the name. It has nothing to do with when you out. It fits. And you know what I think? What I said on a stream a couple days ago, most summer fragrances are lousy in the summer. They just get washed away, right? Spray something with some heft and some brightness and some shout, but just spray a little less of it so it sticks on your skin and survives the sweat, the perspiration that's going to wash it off. That's if you're going to be in a situation like that, meaning outside or in Tokyo, running to catch the subway. Even though you work in air conditioning, you're dripping wet by the time you get to the subway because it's freaking 88 degrees plus 70% humidity, and there's no citrus or burger must or whatever that's going to survive that watering down. There's this handheld tripod. So it's a nice meaty fragrance. A meaty, you know, like a redwood type tree trunk that's in the wet woods. And it's kind of rotten inside. That's the vibe I get from Timbuktu. I love the spice too. This is a spicy, woody incense. A fruity, spicy incense. I get green mango. I get the vibe of green mango. That's more than a mile to the end there. And there are sniper rifles with scopes that can accurately hit like a 4 foot by 4 foot target at the end of that, just as long as they know the wind. That's insane. That is insane. But yeah, fruity, fleshy, fruity. It's sweet, but not nearly. It's kind of like smoky sweet. So my Timbuktu is the latest and greatest. Comes in the black box, really nice. And the bottle, the green bottle, which I really like. But It's not the original OG bottles. And I have not smelled any artisans from that OG presentation. Quite frankly, I'm not interested. So I bet you the Timbuktu stayed the same. Back and forth. But anyway, I finally, after all these years, connected with it today, and I do like it a lot. I always liked it, never loved it, but one random day in summer, I finally connect with it, so I'm not going to let it go. It's a great niche perfume, or an artsy indie perfume. You can tell. I'm probably the first one ever to be walking on this concrete path along this polluted river or canal wearing Timbuktu. I bet you I am. I feel kind of proud of that. Anyway, I have the video going because who knows, I might get a reaction from a nice person catching my waft. Wind is coming strong from behind me now. I was going into it before, as you probably heard the wind. And these people coming up, they'll probably comment on how good I smell. And I didn't spray a lot. I did small spritzes. I did the old, I did small spritzes underneath my arms as deodorant. That's what I'm doing these days. Screw the regular deodorant. It's not good for you. But maybe the alcohol in perfumes is, well, it's probably harmless. But the point of this one is to love your nice collection. Like I said before, if your collection is like mega big, there's no hope for you. You're over the edge. You're just like on an express freight to hell. You know, those of you who have like 800 bottles or 1,000 or 600, how can you love each one of those? You gotta unload. I mean, how can you get to know any of them? How can you get to know any of them well when you have 800 bottles? Okay, so maybe you do know some of them well, but that means the rest of the hundreds and hundreds, you hardly, you don't even have their address because you're just not wearing them enough. You're not knowing them. What's that? Ah, someone is getting a termite entrapment on their house. And be careful if you do that, because thieves come in the night and they cut through that. And then they cut through with gas masks on, and they steal your shit through holes. Yeah, she smelled the Timbuktu. Nothing like she's ever smelled before. It's just stupid citrus blue fragrances. Got a good whiff of it, of the fleshy, fruity, smoky wood. Anyway, continue to get, what do you call it, inspired by your collection. Because it doesn't all hit you at once, right? It takes time. It takes me longer. Some things I love at first sniff. Some things I love even blind by. I know I'm gonna love it, or just the idea of it, right? Ah, plumeria. It always smells so great coming through here. Speaking of plumeria, which is the funeral flower in Southeast Asia, I believe. I got confirmation on that. Just recently I watched The Year of Living Dangerously once again with a very young Mel Gibson and Sigourney Weaver, and it takes place in Jakarta in Indonesia. We're talking the tropics, we're talking right on the equator, we're talking no air conditioning. Just pure sweat dripping down your chest all day. Check out the movie, it's a good movie. Anyway, the local Indonesia boy, a Javanese, maybe, he ends up passing away, and everyone's mourning and crying. His mother is washing down his body with water from a big pot filled with these white plumeria or frangipani, which would just leave an amazing scent, just like dozens and dozens of these white flowers. In a pot, scenting the water, and she was wiping it down the naked body of her young son. And a very sad scene. And it's these very aromatic white plumeria with the yellow in the middle. Like I said, the ones with the colors. They don't have a scent, and I've photographed so many of them. And they keep on blooming. So, yeah, a funeral flower. But we make lei out of it here in the Sandwich Islands. So, it's hard to say. When you know you have a bottle that's good and it's classic, it's just, the consensus is it's a great fragrance. But you haven't connected, or you don't love it yet, don't let it go. Don't let it go too soon. Give it a couple years, 2 years. And you'll make some kind of connection with it. So once again, today it was 105 degrees Fahrenheit in Mali, in Timbuktu, Africa. So if it's good enough for 105 degrees in Africa, it's good enough for you guys to wear in Oregon or Kirkland Lakes, Ontario, California today, anytime. Yeah, she got a good whiff of the artisan. She's just too shy to say anything. Anyway, I'll cut this off below 20 minutes. And maybe I'll upload it. TimbukTalk Walk and Talk. TimbukTalk. TimbukTalk Walk and Talk. Thanks for enduring. And have a pleasant evening. No barbecue. Light some incense. Put the fan on. Don't go too crazy with the air conditioning. If you got a nice breeze outside, it's much better. All right. Bobby Mango. Talk to you later.